shit. We're dads. Oh man, that was not smooth, Sierra. Jesus, you think like what, 30 episodes in, we'd have this down by now.
Honestly, and I got distracted. I was giving Denver her teether, and I was like, fuck, I'm supposed to do this. Oh, yeah. So we have a guest on our podcast today. This is Rachel.
Hello.
Is this why you do? So Bear and I actually just recorded a podcast with Jeremy, which you should have seen by now. And I was under the impression that the girls were doing a podcast after us. I didn't think I had all these plans for after the podcast. Me and Bear were going to go to Five Guys. We were going to...
Oh, shit. I didn't know that was the plan.
You want to leave?
I would have said, fuck this, dude. We're going to Five Guys?
Like, I had this whole plan. Yeah, I was going to go pick up food for everyone. And
Whoa.
I'm I'm going to go lay out in the grass with Denver because we've been putting the towel out for her. And
I think you should leave Denver here, but you should still go do that. Like, get the fuck out of here.
When was this ever, like, how did we never discuss this?
I just falsely assumed
making up stories in your head.
that is what we were doing because we're recording alone with Jeremy. So I'm like, oh, they must be recording alone with Rachel. And now I understand why Sierra did not want to record alone because she just said, we have a guest, Rachel. Rachel said, hey, and then Sierra put the microphone in my face.
Sierra.
Well, you usually like go off with your conversation. That's why I gave it to you. Yeah, well, I gave you the mic.
Right, so I'll start it off, and then Bear and I will go to Five Guys. So this is our very special guest, Rachel. You have to guess her occupation. Rachel, can you tell us about a day in your life?
Wait, that's good. That's good.
Just any day in my life?
Yeah, let's go from what time you wake up, and let's hear your day. And then I'll give you an A, B, C, D option of what her occupation is.
I like that.
I can do that. I can do that. Let's see. I go to bed at...
Early as fuck.
No.
Wait.
7:30 in the morning.
Yes, early as fuck in the morning.
Yes. And I'll wake up around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And
it's like that's a rough sleep schedule.
Yeah. It sure is.
It sucks.
I'm losing my mind.
Like, how is she awake right now?
Do they ever give you like an upgrade on that sleep schedule? Or is that just like it?
It depends. On my days off. I try to sleep like a normal person.
Yeah, I would be so angry all the time. Like, I would literally just you cannot talk to me. Like, if
you got to be built different.
Yeah.
But no hints. All right, Rachel.
I am built different, but maybe not for that, you know?
Well, I used to wake up at like 4 in the morning.
Okay, well, that's like Navy SEAL. You know, Navy SEALs, that's like good.
And be asleep by 8 o'clock.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I miss those days.
Yeah, that's good. Like, that's reasonable. But going to sleep at 7, like, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. But continue. You wake up you go to sleep at 7. You wake up at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
Like it did. Just continue.
There's not much, like on a normal day, there's not much more to that besides me getting ready for work.
Do you ever really have a normal day?
No. Besides like my weekends off.
True.
So.
True. I feel like without saying what she is just yet, every day is so different.
So hard.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it. What's next?
She just said that there's not much else to that.
Like, you want to know?
Yeah, what could she give?
Day.
What
like
could
not,
she give though
just,
into it to where it's not like she's giving it away just now?
Just
I think
tell
I'm
me
just
what
give
you
it
do.
away. Rachel's an officer of the
Hey!
law. She's an officer of the law. What do they call you, Rachel? Like, are you a deputy technically, an officer? Are you like a sergeant, a lieutenant?
I'm a corporal.
Corporal. Damn.
That sounds like so.
So like, what are the people around the office call you? Do they just call you Rachel, or they call you like corporal?
Both.
Corporal.
Yes.
Corporal sounds super cool.
But that's
Right?
the thing. You would think that we have a lot of younger people, and you know who was in the military because that's exactly how they talk to me. Corporal this, corporal that, or it's Ray.
Dude,
Thanks.
Cortland, what are you doing, bro? Dropping all of his food on me. Side note.
All right, Sierra.
Man.
Ask all the questions. This is your podcast. You got it?
This This is where your assumptions came in
you're
wrong
being
because
really aggressive right now. Like,
I mean, it's just like today,
We like ruined Zach's day by having him be on the second podcast.
Like he
mentally was not prepared for this, and now it's just he's thrown off for the rest of
he's
the
on
day.
another
To a police officer today. I thought I was just talking to Jeremy. Now all of a sudden we're questioning a police officer.
You're like in.
so I did have
I'm
some
being
questions myself,
interrogated
though.
first off.
No, for real. Like you're like in like a go mode where it's like we're gonna beef today. We're gonna really hardcore beef.
Me and you?
Yeah, you need to stop with your attitude.
You want to sock wrestle? We're not wearing socks, buddy, so we're just going to wrestle.
I always lose.
The thing that's
You
going
do.
on right
You
now,
do.
so I
You're
know
not gonna
you're
win
like
that sock wrestle.
so drawn out of place, but just like accept that you're not in the plan that you thought you were in, and just change your mindset. You're now in a podcast with a police officer.
That sounds like you're in trouble. Zach, what did you do last Thursday?
Sweating right now.
Wait,
Well, that's just your home. Your home's hot.
wait,
I think your thing it's your mic just unplugged. What the fuck is going on here, guys? I did have some legal questions, for Corporal here.
there we go.
For Corporal. So, have you ever dealt with anything that you would describe as extraterrestrial in your job as a officer of the law?
No.
No. How?
You just broke his heart.
How no? Have you ever dealt with someone who was claiming to have been dealing with something extraterrestrial?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, well then you've dealt with something extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
But
How do you know they weren't telling the truth?
Can you say that one story? This would entertain Bear that you've told me before. Gosh, you might. Could you? I don't know, because if I can say it.
How many people have you dealt with who are claiming to have been previously or currently abducted by some sort of extraterrestrial entity?
Do you
well,
get
it
what
doesn't
question?
help that they're on crack.
Well, you don't
Not
know.
a valid source.
We don't know the true, biological function of crack cocaine. It might be connecting you to an alien dimension. You don't know. Do you guys do any crack? I've never done any crack. It's just I don't know.
That's everyone who talks like that is on
crack.
something.
What about the story in Michigan? Have you guys ever heard about this? I think it was 1993 in Michigan. Over 300 people on Lake Michigan reported seeing a UFO. 300 people. That's not 300 people unless they're doing a lot of crack out there. That's
There's
a weird
crack.
coincidence.
There's crack in the water.
In the 90s, maybe.
They saw some weird shit.
I mean,
I don't know. I've never been a
thought
big
that's all.
believer in aliens, but now I believe in aliens after seeing that story. That shit's crazy.
I'm gonna show. I just wrote it in my notes just in case Rachel can't say it out loud. But tell me if you can say this, and you know what I'm talking about.
If I was a police officer though, and I rolled up on a scene and there were like aliens and
Yeah, say that one if you can say it. But I couldn't remember it. Yeah,
the name.
right.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just bust a cap in an alien's ass though. That's all I know. I would the law's out the window once you find something from outer space. Like does the sovereign laws of the United States of America apply in that situation? I'm just saying, like you're dealing with someone from outer space. Do you have to follow the law at that point? See, he says no, but a lot of people would say yes because they've landed on American territory. But Rachel, you were supposed to discuss something. These guys were like
Yes.
secretly
Couldn't-
exchanging information.
Well, I didn't know if I could say it out loud, so I asked her.
Yeah, and this person wasn't on crack, so that I do know.
Damn it.
We used to get about, I want to say, like, I could be exaggerating, over 20 calls a day from this same person. And she would complain that Bill Gates is shocking her through her floors. Or
Awesome.
just the most random stuff. She probably has seen something, and I know she's not on crack, but we haven't heard from her in probably over a year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bill Gates probably got it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Bill Gates finally got her.
I wonder why she was so fixated on him.
I don't know. I remember the first time, like, I went to her house I was in training. So my trainer's like, I'm going to stay on back here. You go deal with this.
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
But you have to come up with something. Like, I'll be like, oh, I got the perfect tools in my car. Like, I'll make sure the shocks like stop.
Really?
And she stopped calling for like 2 hours. That's
Oh,
it.
that's it?
And then Bill Gates started shocking her again.
Damn. That lady's got to have schizophrenia, right?
Yeah.
She's got to be a
There's-
paranoid schizophrenic.
Wait, why do you have to entertain it just so she doesn't keep calling you? Like, that's why?
Well, like technically you have to answer the call, right? Like you have to
Yes.
go and be like, "Hey, you all right? Bill Gates again?" Shit.
That's how people started responding to her place. Like,
Damn
what's
it.
going on?
Well, listen, let me do a full house search. I'm just going to make sure Bill's not in here. How many closets do you have?
Imagine if you found
Officers
him in
have
his
done that.
closet.
Oh my god. Any officers getting shocked as well?
It's going to be like the boy who cried wolf, though. She's going to keep calling about Bill Gates shocking her, and then the one time the cops don't show up, fucking Bill's there.
Bill's there, yeah. He does have extraordinary means to do some crazy shit.
No, I think she moved. Or kids
So
are taking
now she's bothering another place.
probably.
Do you guys like transfer this information to another police department? Like, hey, she's going to call 50 times a day about Bill Gates.
Nope.
Wait, do you guys have any power to basically send her to a mental? I mean, it's very sad. I mean, I know it's obviously,
I mean, she's not
entertaining.
like, hurting
Like
herself.
Baker,
No, but it's
Baker
just,
Act her?
Yeah. Do you guys have the power to do that? Just based off her calls alone?
No.
No.
Have to meet a
So I
specific
feel like she
criteria.
should be in a special place, obviously.
I think she
that's-
is now.
Yeah.
I think she's always been in a special place. Let's be honest, dude. She's living on a different level of reality.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, she was getting older. So, when you get older, your feet, like your ankles and all that start to change. And
Diabetic neuropathy.
it could be. But she would take her shoes off and like show us and be like, look, this is what he's doing to me. And would show, like, she said all of that was from Bill Gates shocking her.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because obviously diabetes is a huge issue in the United States, and retinopathy it normally shows up in the feet, and your feet get really fucked up and nasty, and a lot of times it shows up with like pins and needles in your feet. That's kind of how it feels. It's like burning pins and needles. Even some people call it electrical sensations. So
That would make more sense.
yes, so maybe I need to.
Why Bill Gates?
Why Bill Gates? Well, the other side of that is that diabetes is really bad for your brain too. So she might have just been going fucking insane. But I think that's hilarious, honestly. You sure you guys never found anything in the house?
I'm positive. I had the special tools.
Oh shit! I'm just saying, Bill Gates does have like extraordinary means to do some weird shit. So like he could have had like the Harry Potter invisibility cloak on like the whole time, just like hiding in the house. Every time they show up, this is just what he does.
That's actually a big fear of mine is I hate when people don't believe me about something. So can you imagine like reporting something and nobody believing you, everyone just brushing it off as you're crazy, but you're actually telling the truth? Like, so like say example, like an alien did come in your house. And imagine you trying
on
to
your
explain that
house.
to everyone. Everyone would think you're fucking full of shit. That is like my biggest nightmare.
Well, I mean, listen, we want to come back into the alien sphere here.
That's why I say aliens.
Yeah. Why'd you say aliens? Yeah, I'll talk about this all fucking day. I mean, there are so many people out there who have like, credible people. How about like fighter pilots? Like what's going on there, dude? Like these are like some of the most highly trained professionals in the world, some of the most intelligent people, and they're saying that they're dealing with UFOs on like a daily basis. Like, what do you make of that? Like, is that real? Is that fake? Like, what?
Have you
what do
seen
make
the
of that?
jellyfish UFO? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen the jellyfish.
That it was
UFO.
actually tracked by an actual military camera, and the military was like, "We don't know what the fuck this is."
Yeah, they deal with that. And like, if you listen to some of these guys, they'll say that they deal with that shit like every day, like all day, every day. Like they're just training. Yeah. Like they're just doing training flights, and they see this shit all day, every day, and they're like, "Well, I don't know what that is." It's to the point where like they just have to come up with certain protocols. They're like, "Oh, well, we're seeing jellyfish again. God damn it! what do we do, sir?"
Have you had an encounter with a UFO?
I wish, dude. Maybe not that I wish. I mean, I've never had an encounter with a UFO where I wasn't doing drugs. So,
Hey, there is a police officer on the podcast.
allegedly. Allegedly. Jesus.
What if we had a live arrest on?
Wait, so have you like ever? You haven't had an encounter, but have you like seen something where you're like, that's a little bit weird?
I think everybody's kind of had that moment where they see some shit up and there's like, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
What's going on? Nah, it's probably just like a.
He was like a hardcore not believer about like aliens
Oh.
and UFOs not too long ago, though.
I heard
What
some.
changed your mind?
I heard this one dude tell like a bunch because there's this one guy who like wrote a book like where essentially he just did he wasn't like trying to convince anyone, but he just wrote like a book compiling all the different events like around the world. Just like he basically just gathered like the top 100 events where they are the most credible, have the most information around them, and so he just pretty much made a book about it. He wasn't trying to argue one way or the other, and pretty much he just put together all the stories, just put all the information out there, and I kind of read through a couple of different ones, probably like 10 or 15 of them, and I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, obviously there could be something weird going on, right, that we just don't really have an explanation for, but it's kind of hard when there's literally just like these different events, like you said, where there's like 300 people who are reporting seeing, some weird shit. There's one in Brazil where like an entire town like reported seeing aliens run around the town, like seeing something crash. There was people in hospitals saying that they brought in like bodies of something that they did not know what the hell it was.
When do you stop? Like
the whole town is like that's funny as hell.
that's my favorite sound ever.
Put it back up. That's what you hear
reminds me
before
of
the
the baby.
spaceship lands.
It reminds me of the baby on The Simpsons. It's like her sound.
Yeah, for real. What was that baby's name? Angelica?
Ooh, that's
that was
That's from Rugrats.
That's
Oh,
from
yeah,
Rugrats. You're
right.
fucking
So
right.
Lisa
son of
was
a
the
bitch.
older one. Bart, Lisa, and Maggie.
No.
Yeah, it was Maggie.
Yeah, it's Maggie. I don't know.
It is really hot in here. I'm gonna turn on.
so hot.
Bear, can I turn on that fan with the audio thing?
Yeah. It's
All right,
always
well, we
hot in
have
this
a
house.
police officer on set, so
We'll-
let's
we'll
take advantage
swing-
of that. And
We'll swing back around. Let me hear about crack cocaine. What does that do to people?
Oh,
I've only seen a few people on crack when I used to work downtown in like a club, and the homeless people would come up, and I'm like, that guy's got to be on crack, like no doubt in my mind. When they're like picking up cigarettes off the ground and they're talking to the wall,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that guy's got to be.
is
on
it crack or is that like the
Could be just the homelessness.
Yeah, what are a
getting
lot
to
of the
brain.
homeless people taking?
The
You know?
homeless rots getting to their
Crack.
brain.
Oh, it is crack.
Yeah.
And it's probably really bad crack too.
And you'll know when you I'll be driving down the road and I look over and there's a person just screaming to themselves and
Yeah.
just their behavior is like, do I really want to go talk to them?
What can you even do?
Get them checked out, by the fire department. Just make sure they're
For
not
medical
gonna,
reasons?
Right. Make sure they're not gonna end up hurting themselves or anyone else.
But you can't obviously arrest them.
For being on crack.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean,
So you
I
can
will,
just freely just be on crack.
I will say, there's some great things about having, eternal freedom in this country, and I'm not going to say that being able to just publicly be on crack is one of them, but
a
I
red
think
flag, Bear.
I think it's kind of funny. I will just say that. I think it's a little bit funny. Just like, you're on crack. Are you okay? I'm doing okay.
But if you're walking down the street and you're drunk,
That's what I was just getting ready to ask. You can get arrested for public intoxication, but you
not
can't get
public crack.
Yeah.
Public
I mean-
crackhead.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on the circumstance.
They're
Most of the
disturbing
time,
the peace.
if you're screaming, hooting and hollering in the middle of the street at 3 a.m,
So they usually are though.
yeah, I just get them sent to the hospital.
I mean,
That's nice. That's nice. I mean, I guess what is an arrest really going to do for a crackhead? I mean, they're just going to
give them a place to sleep.
they're just
eat.
gonna be off of crack for like a few hours, and they're just gonna want it even more. I mean,
It's a horrible situation.
I'm not a crackhead myself, but I imagine that's how it would work.
You seem to know a lot about crack.
I'll tell you what, I would like to know more. This is a very interesting topic. Would
I'll
you
hook
say
you up with one of the guys?
sick? Yes. When I used to process serve. This is totally off topic. Do you ever do you ever have to work in the jail or anything like that?
No.
No, that's a completely different thing, right?
Yes.
Corrections. Yeah. So I used to go in the jail, and this is insane that they would let me do this, but I'd have to serve people subpoenas in the jail.
Oh my gosh.
And I would have no like escort. They just let me out into like the ward, like
What?
with no officer next to me. I'm just like, I'm looking for so and so, and I just got like a group
all
of like
just look at
30
you.
dudes just looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? And I would just be like, should I have like somebody looking after me? Like I'm gonna get jumped, and they're just gonna have a ball with me. Like they would just nobody would walk me through.
That's insane.
Nobody would walk me through.
How have we gone through
Right?
50 podcasts and you've never mentioned this?
I mean, it was during like COVID, so I feel like they had like some weird protocols. But I would just walk through because they would have the people in like the little like control center, and I'd just be like, "Hey, I'm trying to, hey, this is what I'm doing here." And so it was super annoying too because they would make me only serve one dude at a time, and I would have to serve like 8 people in there. And so I'd walk all the way back, grab my other paper and all my shit. They check me through all the way again. Walk all the way back in. They're like, "Who's this motherfucker? He's here again?"
The last thing I would want to do is serve papers to someone that's in jail. They're already fucking infuriated. And now you're serving them more bad news?
It's kind of funny. They were all like really cool about it too.
Really?
They were all super cool. Like they were always just looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? I'm literally walking in there like allegedly I'm high as titty balls. I'm just walking through the jail. And they're just looking at me. I'm literally like in basketball shorts, like sandals, no socks. I literally look like I look right now. There's like, who is this guy? Why does he smell of reefer? And like, what's going on? And I'm just like, I'm looking for, freaking Jose. Jose here? Anybody? Hey, you know Jose? It's just like, yeah, he's over there. He's in his bunk. I'm just like, all right. And like, I'm literally like
crazy.
walking through like the fucking prison ward, like, or the jail ward. There's like nobody with me.
They could have a free for all on you.
I would have at least, tried to prevent them from having a free for all. That would have been nasty, been nasty. No lubrication. I guess everybody's got spit, but I mean,
I was thinking like a fight free for all.
oh.
So was I. Then
Oh.
he went into that, and I was like, I guess that's too.
I'll get my ass kicked. Just don't rape me, please. You can beat the shit out of me. Just don't rape me. Like you guys can all beat the dog shit out of me. I'll crawl out of there.
That
And
would have been
just,
so scary. I don't know how you did that.
well, I was poor. I was poor, and I was process serving. And when COVID hit, like all of the shit that I was making money off of, like I couldn't serve them anymore. So like the main thing was like financial shit, like people not paying their credit card debt or not paying their student loan. So that was like the number one thing, and like child support papers, like number one thing. I made like all my money off of that. And so once COVID hit, they froze the courts. They were not doing that anymore. So the only things I could serve were like criminal subpoenas, which I would do rarely normally because nobody wants to spend 5 minutes walking through a jail because they make you go all the way down and all the way back, like for security purposes. And nobody wants to do that because they don't pay that well. And once COVID hit, that was the only thing I could do. And so eventually I just stopped process serving because that was kind of lame.
Is that true that you only can serve someone if they like say like, yes, I am that person?
You have to have them confirm that like, hey, I'm John Smith. What the fuck do you want? And then you're just like, well, hey, listen, I got a subpoena for you. And they slam the door in your face. It doesn't matter. Like, I just proved that you are who you say you are. But a lot of people were really good, and they would not tell you who they were, and they wouldn't answer the door, and you'd have to like get pictures of them and be like, look, I have a picture of you. I know who you are. Here's your fucking paper.
Did you ever see the one? I can't remember who it was. I think it was a basketball player or something, and he was signing autographs, or maybe it was a rapper. I can't remember. But he was signing autographs, and someone served him papers at his like signing.
I mean, dude, some people know what's up. Like it's sometimes was really hard to serve people, and I did some sketchy ones. I had people answer the door with like hammers and knives and guns before. Yeah. I was.
No biggie.
The power of youth. I mean, I have. You're not allowed to carry like a weapon either. Like as a process server, it's like something that you're not allowed to do. Like if they pull you over and they find that you're serving papers with like a firearm, like you'll never be able to do it again.
Wait, so how often did you have like where people just literally wouldn't admit that they were so and so and you couldn't give them the papers?
Most of the time, honestly. Like when people knew that they would try and avoid it. Like they wouldn't answer the door, and then like I served people at like their job more like multiple times. You would have to go into their job, and for example, there was like a UCF professor who like was avoiding forever. And so it's super easy for me because I went to UCF. So I literally got off a class. I walk over to this dude's office. I knock on the door. I'm just like, hey, Professor so-and-so. Like, yeah, what can I help you out with today? I'm like, yeah, I got a subpoena for you.
I'd be so mad.
It's pretty funny, but
Were any of them like, fuck you, dude?
oh yeah, they would all the time threaten to fight me and shit.
Really?
I'm just like, hey, dude, I'm making like $15 here. I don't really want to fight. Making like $15. Like, if you want to fight, like, fight the justice system, friend.
All the people in the jail, like, they were all fine though. Like, they were just like, yeah, it's me. Give it to me.
Eventually, they kind of started to like recognize me because I did it for a good like a good like month. Eventually, there's like, oh, it's this guy. He's fucking like, some of the guys were like super nice and helpful, and they'd be like, hey, who are you looking for? I'm like, looking for this guy.
So no one was mean though?
Some of them were definitely rude. Yeah, some of them were definitely rude unnecessarily, and I'm like, all right, I guess, you're in jail. It can't be that fun. Like, they got those shitty ass brick TVs that they roll out for TV time. I'm like, damn, that sucks.
TV time. It sounds like screen time for babies.
They get like TV time, and they roll out these big ass brick TVs. I'm like, really? You guys didn't have anything better? I guess like maybe somebody's breaking this shit, so like,
True.
don't want to roll something out expensive, but damn, dude, like, they like fucking 1992 TV with a VHS like built in, you know what I mean? Like, built-in VHS.
It's crazy.
But coming back to the crack, I forgot why I started talking about. Serving process papers. It's funny. I used to have to work with like people like, because you guys have like your own civil process department, and like I used to have to work with the people who are like employed by like, police departments and sheriff's offices and shit like that. You used to have to like work with them to like serve these papers sometimes, because like people are. Have you ever heard of like sovereign citizens?
We were just talking about that.
That's so crazy. We literally before you guys came.
Yeah, so those were like the super dangerous ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like these people are like insane. Like, if you come on their property, they think that their property is like their own little legal universe.
Yes.
And so like they'll fucking shoot you. Like, it's happened before. They're fucking insane. And so like I would have to work with like the fucking sheriff's department sometimes, and there's like, hey, this guy's like, we hear he's a sovereign citizen. I'm like, wait, what? I don't want to serve this. I'm like, are you going up there?
Wait, what does that mean?
That's what Rachel was trying to explain. Yeah, it's interesting.
Very hard to explain. They're just
kooky.
They think that they don't need to follow any laws, like
anti-government, right?
Sort of. They're almost. It's really just like like a radical political sect. I would say they believe that like essentially the Bill of Rights allows them to have like infinite rules and rights within their own property. So if they own, this piece of property, they can do whatever they want on that piece of property, whether it's killing somebody, murdering their wife. It doesn't matter. Like,
the same in their vehicles.
Yeah.
They think they don't need even though most of them, I was telling them, most of them have valid driver's licenses. But They don't want to give you that. Like,
But why can they just decide that they're this type of citizen? And
well, it's like, once again, it's kind of like a radical political sect. These people, they
Are
think
they right wing?
I don't think they're any wing. I think they're their
own.
their own thing for sure. Yeah, because when I first like started doing these classes, become like a process server, because you have to take like a week-long class and they certify you, and it's like, all right, whatever. Is not a whole lot, but the one thing they warn you of, the one thing they tell you about is sovereign citizens.
It's so crazy.
How common are they?
Yeah.
Not super common, but once you get out into the sticks, very common. Like,
because they're always in legal trouble, I'm sure.
Once you get out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and you have to like drive down a dirt road to serve this guy, like, that's when you start finding these fucking sovereign citizens. But that's what they'll tell you. Like, if they tell you it's a sovereign citizen, they identify as a sovereign citizen, like, they need to be served, but maybe it's not worth it. Like, the lady who taught the class, I remember, she would tell this story every year, because you'd have to get recertified every year. She was working for like Orange County Sheriff's or something like that. He's trying to steal snacks. Thief. Rachel, do we got something for this kid? There's something we could do here. Ride along. Little baby ride along.
That'd be so cute.
Yes, but she would tell this story every year when we would take this class, where she was trying to serve a paper for the sheriff's department, knocked on the door, nobody answered.
He's trying.
Jesus,
he's
son.
flip
He's going to flip over.
Eat your food.
He wants.
Don't give him the whole thing.
He wants the snack can so bad. That's what he's. Look, he's pointing. He just pointed to it.
Want more Cheetos? Just say Cheetos. Okay, it's
Do you
done.
need a new pacifier for it?
Done. It's done. It's done, boy.
Okay.
Yeah, but continuing with that story, she would tell this story every year that we took this class where she went to serve, for the sheriff's department, paper, for, I don't know, it was like subpoena or legal summons or something like that. And she knocked on the door, and the guy, like, shouted something through the door, like, hey, I have a gun. And so she said, okay, I'm dipping the fuck out. I'm going to get out of there. And so she called, the police department, and it ended up being like a multi-hour standoff. And like multiple officers were shot, people were like killed, and like she was the first one on the scene who knocks on the door.
Wow.
And so she would tell that story like every fucking year, and every time that she would tell that story, I'm just like, why the fuck am I doing this job? Like what the hell am I doing? Because a lot of times the best paying jobs were out in the middle of butt fuck nowhere, where it's more likely you're gonna run into something like that. And like when you go out and you knock on someone's door who never has anyone knock on their door. Mm-hmm. They're like, what the fuck's going on? They show up they open the door with a gun, like almost every time.
So now that I know what this is, I didn't know until 20 minutes before this podcast when Rachel told us about that. Now somehow it gets brought up.
That's weird how you were just talking.
Very weird. It's kind of scary. It's a sign. But I don't remember if you were with me or if it was with Ryan. But you remember how we used to go and just fuck with random people and like knock on their door and ask them stupid shit, or like Christmas Carol in June or something? Right?
Yeah.
So we used to do that all the time, and now I'm scared of this person. Well, I was before, but there was a time that just down the road, I'll talk about it more off camera, but these people, I think they do like taxidermy. It's not too far from here, if you know what I'm talking about. Well, I think it was just me and Ryan. I can't remember if you were there, but we went and we're like, let's go fuck with them. I'm like, yeah. We were like, what, 16, 17? We're like, this is a good idea. These people stuff dead animals for a living. They live off the grid, no one around them. Let's go knock on their door. So we went and we knocked on their door, and some old woman like opened up the blinds, and it was literally like a horror movie. She like peeked her head around the corner, and like some fucking like record player was playing, literally like a horror movie. And she goes off. We look to the right, and some dude's got a shotgun, and he's walking up to us. So we fucking hauled ass out of there.
Well, yeah. I mean,
just for knocking on their door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
So
when
now
people,
I think about it, they're probably fit in that category where they think
Probably.
they can do whatever they want when you're on their property. Because you have to go out of your way to go to their property.
it's also weird. Like, what are two little fucking teenage kids doing knocking on my door? Like, why is
Yeah.
that happening?
I don't think he was going to shoot us, but he was definitely looking pretty aggressive.
Rachel, can you give any stories with sovereign citizens that you've had or other people? Are you able to say any experiences that you've had to give people like a better understanding of like how these people are?
Well, yeah, so we mostly encounter them like on traffic stops
Yeah.
because they make some BS license plates, like they write it out. It's ridiculous. And we already know like what we're dealing with. And as soon as you approach the window, they only crack it. They try giving you 20 different forms of paperwork that have nothing to do with.
Actually, I just saw a video about this, and he was like, he cracked it, and he was like showing her through the window, like, I'm a sovereign citizen, and
Oh, so they identify as this.
Some.
Yeah.
Like, but their
weird.
behaviors, like,
I just
not
don't
giving-
understand how, like, does it actually like uphold anything, like, or do they still have to like
Pretty much just tells
follow the rules just like the rest of us?
They have to follow the rules, just like they won't identify themselves. Like, they'll be like, I don't need a driver's license to drive on the roads. And, I mean, of course you
So
do.
they're like outlaws? Like they just think they're above the law?
Yes.
I think they're just assholes, honestly.
Yeah. But
I
that's
think
how
they want attention.
most of them get arrested because they end up resisting because
Yeah.
we will pull them out of the car.
I would love to arrest them.
And
Say, I
they
thought
have
you couldn't
driver's
drive without a
licenses.
driver's license. Well, that's funny because now you're in fucking handcuffs in the back seat of the car.
But most
Guess
of
you
them
can't.
have valid licenses.
They're just
so
stubborn.
it doesn't make sense. Like, just why make it harder
So
for
do they fill
yourself?
up the prisons too? Like do a lot of them do like actual crime where they felonies and stuff? Or are they just usually that misdemeanor, just being fucking assholes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Usually just, yeah, I mean, that's usually what you see because you see this shit on video all the time. Like, they just crack the window. There's like, There's like, what do you want? Like, I don't need to provide you any information. You know, like, hey, your tags are expired. Like, so I don't need tags to drive. It's my right to drive. This is my property. You know, so yeah,
It's my property.
They think it's their
weird.
right.
Well, it's not
to
their
drive.
road.
No.
There's the end of the argument right there.
Yeah, they're really weird. They're super. It's a weird like sect, and when the ones who like identify as sovereign citizens, that's when I'm like, okay, nope, not fucking with you.
I just don't get that argument. Like, oh, you own the car? Okay, well, you can sit in the car at your fucking house. But like, if your tag's expired, if you don't have a driver's license, you can't drive.
And do they like truly believe that like you're gonna be like, oh, I'm a sovereign citizen, and then you're like, oh shit,
yeah, okay.
okay.
Why don't we all
Hey,
just do this?
That's what I did when I was serving somebody. If you say you're a sovereign citizen, I'm like, all right, I'm not serving you. Sending this one back.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
so it kind of works.
They kind of think that we're just gonna walk away from them. No, like
Yeah, I mean, it's
dangerous.
At
They
least,
are dangerous.
Yeah, they are dangerous, and
They
that's
seem like they're very like fly off the handle.
Yes.
like-
exactly. Yeah, whenever like I had it on multiple occasions where people would like verbally tell me while I'm trying to serve them a subpoena or some shit, like I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm just like, oh, okay, see you later. You're not getting
Do
served.
they? Do they look crazy? Like, do they?
No.
They look like normal people.
Yes.
Dang.
Where?
Well, there we go. Now we got a quick educational episode in. I learned
All right,
something new.
opinion, Rachel.
Yeah.
What's worth? Crack cocaine. If somebody's addicted to drugs and you have to like maybe you shouldn't be making recommendations. What's just your opinion? Crack cocaine or like the fentanyl shit going on?
So there is a lot of fentanyl going around right now, especially in pills.
Yeah.
Are you asking me like which
I
one's
don't.
better?
I don't know if we should be saying like I don't want to get you in trouble. Like, hey, what's better? What
Like,
would you recommend?
What's more dangerous, or what do you? What
I
are you
guess
asking?
what I'm getting at here is I was
gets you a better
hearing
high?
like this like hot take essentially. I don't remember who was saying this. I think it was like a comedian and he was like making a little bit out of it, but he was basically saying like, back in the 90s, like it was like the crack epidemic, like it was like, oh, everybody's doing crack, people are doing crack out in the streets. And, nowadays it's like, people are dropping dead from fentanyl, so it's like nobody was ever really dying from crack. Like it was ruining their lives. And like, they were dying from like infection and other shit. They were just not taking care of themselves and, doing other bad shit, getting arrested. And so, that was bad, but nobody was like dying from it, per se. Nowadays, like motherfuckers are taking one dose of fentanyl and immediately
It's
dying.
usually unintentional, right? It's usually laced though, the fentanyl, or are people actually taking
Yes.
it?
people actually just have it.
Yeah.
Which is
They-
wild.
they
Which is
choose
wild.
to, yeah.
You literally hear all this shit about fentanyl, and you're just
Let's
like,
try it.
let's try that out.
I mean, there's even like weed going around that's laced with fentanyl now.
I've seen a lot of the lace stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
I
mean,
was talking to this lady when we were going to, I think, Colorado for our baby moon. I was talking to this lady who was telling me how I ended up finding out that she works at a department around here, small world. But she was saying how they are finding so many high school kids who are overdosing, and they'll like get the report back, and they're like telling them, the detectives and the police officers, that they only had weed, like they only had smoked, and they're like, there's no way, like you literally almost just died. And they're going and they're finding in their system that it's laced with fentanyl. So the woman was telling me on the plane that she's like you can't even trust like where you're getting your weed from. Something simple as the smallest thing is weed. Like it's like, how do you even trust what you're getting anymore? And she's like, I feel so bad for these parents because like they're thinking that these kids are taking these hardcore drugs, but it's just like the kids are just smoking.
which is insane that people are putting it in weed, because like the moment you tell me that some drug dealer sold this dude weed laced with fentanyl, I'm like, well, never buying it from him again.
Yeah.
Like, you're going out of business, buddy.
So
like,
do they just do it like they want kids to get hooked on it, right?
I don't know. Like,
it doesn't make any sense why you would put it in weed. Like that's like super chill to super heavy metal top, horrible shit. Like no,
Super
like if you're smoking weed, you're probably not trying to get into.
I want the heavy metal shit.
I've been on an overdose, and I won't get too much into it, but
Did you get like on a traffic stop, like you accidentally touched it, or? Oh no, you're not talking about you.
No. I've been like, we got called for an overdose, where the person was deceased, but I found weed just packed in a bowl, and he sprinkled the fentanyl on top of it, like
Jesus.
choosing to.
Aggressive.
Like you were saying, how do you go from like wanting to be mellow to like?
Now that's heavy metal.
What are the effects of fentanyl? What's the high like?
I mean, it's just an opiate. I mean, it's
Like crack?
It's an opiate. No, crack's like cocaine that they synthesize so that you can smoke it instead of snort it. Fentanyl is an opiate that was originally designed to tranquilize like elephants. Yeah, so it's essentially just an extremely potent version of, you know, something like it's. I'm not a scientist either, guys. I'm just a fucking nerd.
But they
What's
use
going
it
on
in
over here?
hospitals.
What
like,
is he?
No, yeah, they
pregnancies and stuff like that. Like someone giving birth, like they'll give you like the correct amount. Like,
yes, I heard
Yes,
that.
they
I don't
dose
think
it
they gave
properly.
to
They
me.
know.
You took,
I
what
don't
was
know.
the pain medicine they gave
I
you?
didn't take that though. Because I remember a client of mine had told me they're like, if they ask you if you want it, you can say no and ask for something else. But
Yeah,
they
there's
didn't
two
even.
different
pain
ones.
medication,
Yeah,
though.
I
can't
didn't
remember.
have that.
Oxys.
Oxy.
Yeah,
you got
oxycodone.
Oxy.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just like a slow
Made
release
her KO.
opiate. But fentanyl, yeah, I mean, this is just like extremely powerful, you know. But they obviously dilute it, and they have people who know what they're doing. So most of the time, people aren't dying from. I
Right.
mean,
most people get addicted to it from like accidents, like when they've had severe accidents or surgeries, and most people will tell you like, oh, I was in a really bad car accident this many years ago and I got hooked on it and I haven't been able to stop since.
Well, I can't remember if we were talking about it or if I just saw it, but it scares me for like your job. Like I saw this woman. Was it in Florida? You might know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Where the woman officer, she was like she was just searching the car, right?
So even if we get a little bit on our fingers, inhale it, it could kill
Yeah.
us.
Did she didn't die? She just passed out, right? Yeah, it's so scary. Like,
Yeah.
what do you guys just then? Is your protocol now like with that happening to wear like gloves going in to like searching or?
First off, everyone should have gloves on when they're searching something.
yeah.
But, you know, could be in a needle too. Like if you get pricked.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I mean, fentanyl, like it
Anything.
absorbs directly. You know, it can be thermally absorbed. You know, you can just if you touch something that has just a little bit of powder or
It's scary to
vapor.
think about. Like,
you guys just carry Narcan everywhere you go, right?
Yeah, but if you're by yourself, how are you gonna
Yeah, how the fuck are you gonna
What is it?
Narcan?
Narcan? Yeah, it's just
For when people like overdose.
yeah,
When
it
we were
essentially
in-
immediately takes you out. But I mean, sometimes you have to give insane doses of Narcan
Yes.
depending on
when
the fentanyl.
we were in New York back in August, we were going on the subway, and you know how you guys haven't been to New York City, right?
No, super
and-
stressful.
In the subway they have these, like, right now they have changed a bunch of it, but anyways, they have these advertisements, kind of what they have in the mall where they have those random posters and it's just like an advertisement. Well, they have those where you wait on the platform and inside the subway, because honestly everywhere, and it's all about fentanyl and Narcan. They give you like advice, like if you need Narcan, go here to stock up on your Narcan. And we were asking my cousin about it, and she was saying that there's such a bad fentanyl case going on where everyone's getting drugs out there, but they're getting them laced not on purpose. So they're telling everyone to stock up on Narcan so that
The best. Sorry.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, just the best part about that is they'll have like they're like a bag of coke, what bag of cocaine looks like, and then a bag of fentanyl, and they're like, "This is okay. This is cocaine.
That is what the posters
This is the
look like.
New York City government telling you this is okay. We're good with this.
Yes.
This bad."
I wish I took a picture of it. I was literally shocked when I saw it, and I asked my cousin, and she said it's just so bad there that they're just advertising it for everyone out there.
But you can buy Narcan like at Target.
Yeah.
Like it is so easy. Like I don't know what changed. Probably just because of all the overdoses. But yeah, I'd walk through Target and I'm like, there's a shitload of Narcan right here.
Well, it's just like a nasal spray, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't that accessible beforehand.
I mean, once again, not a scientist here, guys, but as far as I understand, Narcan is just essentially like an agonist for what an opiate does. It just essentially binds to the opiate receptor and makes it so that it essentially just flushes it clean so that you're not overdosing any longer. I don't really think you can get like high on
If
it.
you I was gonna say, if you took it
No.
sober, what would happen?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
You would just
But it also depends on what you're on, like overdosing on, because Narcan won't work sometimes. Like, I've had the fire department give I think we gave a dose of Narcan, and then when they got there, they gave like 2 or 3 more, and still absolutely nothing.
Oh my gosh. So when like someone says like passed out, overdose, you just like is it like you know what Flonase looks like? Like a
Yeah, that's what.
you just literally stick it in their nose and spray
You're
it.
about to pull it out of your pocket.
Yeah, hang on. I got it right here.
I think we're safe here. I think we're good.
The way shit goes these days, maybe you should be walking around with Narcan on you.
That's crazy.
A
So
lot of people do.
Yeah,
They just have it in their purse, not for them, but like in case because
other
of how
people?
bad things are.
which is wild. Which
yeah,
is wild.
right? Do you have like a stock in your patrol car?
No, we get one.
You get one?
Really?
Why just one?
I don't know.
One does. I mean, I've seen multiple
Yeah,
videos.
like, what if there's multiple people?
Oh, yeah.
I've
Then
seen.
hopefully I'm going to call for more officers. Everyone bring your Narcan.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, I've seen multiple videos where like an officer is like searching a car, accidentally touches something,
Right.
passes out, and they immediately go, "We need more Narcan." I'm just like, why don't you got like 12 of these things? Like, is it like a money thing?
I think we just have to keep track of it all. So each
yeah.
box that we have is tracked within the department, so that way we're.
Which is interesting in and of
Yeah, I don't know
itself
how to-
because it's like
it's a lot.
you can buy it at Target, but like you gotta like treat it like that seriously. You know, it's interesting. I don't know. It's interesting. It's just it's not necessarily. And once again, not a scientist here, guys. It doesn't seem like something that's super like dangerous, or it's not obviously not addictive or anything like that. It should just probably be something you at least get 2. I mean,
I have a question for Rachel. What is a question that bugs you the most about being a police officer?
Like from the public?
Like from the public. Like if Bear were to ask you something that would just get under your skin.
when people ask me
We
about
probably
crack.
don't understand, but it's like something like you're like, oh my gosh.
I mean, I've kind of been waiting for it. I mean,
Oh.
it's pretty common. Like,
What
what
is
is the craziest thing you've ever seen?
I was going to ask that.
What is the craziest thing you've ever
Oh,
seen?
come on.
You know this story.
Can you share it?
Yeah. I know. But it doesn't like bother me. I don't really get bothered by it, but it's like, I mean, for the past 4 years, it's still the same story.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's like Zach. When I tell him to tell ghost stories, he's like, "Oh my fucking gosh, Sierra, shut up."
Dude, I'll tell ghost stories all day.
Me fucking too, right? And he's like, "No, I hate it."
All right, let's hear the craziest thing Rachel's ever seen.
I would. I have to think about how to.
Word
After
it.
you say the craziest thing
have
you've
to.
ever
No,
seen,
I can.
I'll tell you the crazy thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
I think I was a child, and I'm pretty sure I was having like some sort of child psychedelic trip. But I'll tell you guys afterwards because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is not real.
oh.
Well.
But I saw it. So
Do you think you were? Well, I'll ask you when you're done.
yeah, let's hear.
Let's
yours
hear
first.
how Rachel's gonna word it.
Just a guy stabbing himself in the neck.
God damn!
Well, I had him at gunpoint, and
Really?
then you know this story.
Holy shit!
The knife fell out of his neck, and he was like getting ready to like go for it again because he came walking towards myself and the other officer that was there with the knife in his hand, and I'm sitting there giving him commands while I have my gun on him, and he just goes like nonchalant. I mean,
God damn!
I don't know, like that's just like the one story that stuck in my head. And then it fell out and he tried to get it, and then this was around the COVID time, so like everyone was losing their minds, and I just ended up Baker acting him, but
He was okay. He made it.
yeah, he's good.
What? Holy shit, dude! I would not want to meet this guy.
Do you think what's it called when someone basically tries to commit suicide through a police officer? Like they want to get shot and killed.
Suicide by cop.
Yeah.
So that's what. I thought there was a fancy word for it. Sorry, there's all these other crazy sovereign citizen and shit. I would think they would come up with a word for that.
And
So was that what he was attempting? You think?
no, he was just going through a hard time. Because in the ambulance, like, he was just saying, I need money and just stuff like that. So it was just a rough time for him, his family.
That's like
That was pretty early in your career, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably why it stuck with you because it was like the first. Like you think it was one of like the first like holy shits like.
No, my very first night in training, I saw
Oh yeah.
a guy got hit by a car on a bicycle.
Ew.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're built different.
Yeah, but when
pretty
it comes
wild.
down to kids or dogs, absolutely not.
I'll tell you what, that would hurt me too. A
That's
dog.
literally what our neighbor says.
Yeah, kids or dogs. That's rough. Adults, it's almost just like, hey, you fucked it up yourself, bro. Why were you riding a bike next to a road?
Crossing over a busy road at 3 a.m.
I always, whenever I see people riding bikes like on the
Isn't
road,
it the law that you have to ride it on the road?
there's trails.
No, okay,
There's
yeah,
trails.
If you're following the road and the flow of traffic, not just like if I'm going westbound somewhere and here comes a bike go just across, like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, even the people who are in the bike lane, I'm still just like, do you not know that these are cars and people suck at driving? Like, I'm like, get off the road. Just walk on the sidewalk. Like, do something else. Ride your bike on the sidewalk or in the grass. Like,
Right.
still safer.
Yes.
But like when I see people riding their bikes on the road, even in the bike lane, and I see people cross like 18 lanes of traffic all the time, just right across. I'm just like, you want to die? You want to die?
Well, I feel like it's like that here when you're driving in
Oh,
this
on
area.
Rock Springs Road,
Just
dude. People
everywhere, yeah.
always just right across the road. I'm like, are you stupid?
Also, just walking. It's like, you know, what was it, Leapfrog? Frogger? What was that game you used to play? It's like that. It's
Yeah.
like they're the frog trying to hop through
And
traffic.
it's
and
funny
you're
you
like,
bring
what
that
the
up because
fuck?
my worst story was going to be related to that. But
Frog?
Yeah.
Frog? What?
not Frogger, but do you remember when when you were kids, like people would play this dumbass fucking game, Chicken?
Oh, yeah.
They'd be like, hey, let's see who can sit in the road long enough, and whoever jumps out of the road is a chicken. And so I remember I was walking home as a kid, and motherfucker was playing chicken. Why people played this game, I don't know. But motherfucker was in the road playing chicken. He's like, I'm not a chicken. Well, guess what? He got hit by a car. And I remember, like, this is vividly in my child brain. So once again, I might have just been like having like a trip, and my brain just made this up. But I remember seeing him. He gets hit by this car. Motherfucker's going like 40 miles an hour, sticks to the window. And then the car obviously slams on the brakes. He goes flying and just skids for like 40 yards, like just across. And then this dude's literally like screaming. He broke like everything. He broke both of his legs. I remember because he was in a full like gurney for like months and months. He lived. But I just remember this, like walking home from school in elementary school. This kid gets hit by a car, sticks to the window, skids for literally like 40 yards, just like blood trail. And he's literally just like screaming, like trying to crawl, just blood gushing everywhere. That was like the worst memory for me. And it was probably a little bit exaggerated because I was a child, but that's how I remember it. I just remember vividly him sticking to the windshield.
So wait, it 100% actually happened. You're
100%
just saying
actually happened.
You might
Yes.
have exaggerated it.
Yes,
in your
definitely happened. 100%. I can guarantee that because I remember seeing him in a full body cast, like full fucking body cast. And you know, those are like kind of like you don't really see those. You know, like most people don't break everything in their body, but this motherfucker did because he was playing chicken. Like,
Were you playing with him?
I was a smart child. I was a smart kid. I listened to my mommy, and she said, "Stay out of the fucking road." And apparently, this kid's parents didn't tell him that. like what the? Why are you playing this game? Why was that ever a game? Like, car,
crazy.
human.
Right.
You're not gonna win that fight unless you're
Right.
really strong. Like, have you guys ever watched like that strongman shit?
Yes,
Yeah, like the strongest man in the world.
it's insane.
It's insane, but I wonder, like, you know, maybe if it was like the world's strongest man, like 6'11", 490 pounds,
He's gonna stop the car.
maybe he'll get hurt. He'll get hurt for sure, but maybe it'll be a good fight. You know, like maybe at least like the person in the car will get killed too. Maybe, I don't know. Like if the world's strongest man gets hit by a car, like they're just running full speed at each other.
That reminds me, have you ever seen the video of Ronaldo racing a Bugatti? And Ronaldo's on barefoot. It is the dumbest fucking video. It's such a clickbait because they'll have like they go. Obviously, the Bugatti's way faster,
Like a super short
but they
video.
go and like they'll have them like run through cones and shit. Like the Bugatti has to do like a 3-point turn. It's like no shit, Ronaldo's gonna fucking win. This is the dumbest fucking
Got
video
you
I've
there.
ever seen.
Have you tried to go like up and down a set of stairs, Mr. Bugatti? Yeah.
I wanted to tie Rachel into, since it is parenting podcast, and yes, we do put some parenting aspects into it, but
I don't know what parenting we're gonna get into this one.
I know.
This one's been pretty awesome in my opinion.
I wanted to ask Rachel, like, we had talked about what she could talk about in regards to that, just to like tie it in somehow, some way. And how do you feel like you could do that?
I need questions.
Okay. Do you?
What's the worst parent you've ever seen?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Maybe not a good question. I don't know why I go to the worst one. What's the best parent you've ever seen? How about that? Nobody. Yeah.
The worst. Go back.
No, nobody likes hearing great parenting stories.
No.
Oh my God, nobody likes hearing like this mom like lifted a car for her baby. Like nope. Nope, nobody wants to hear that shit. Like strong mom
That's
stories.
so true. Like, which one are you gonna click on? Like,
Muscle mommy.
the terrible. There's gonna be two stories, and it's like amazing mom, and then there's gonna be a terrible story. Everyone's gonna click the terrible. That's just the way the media is.
Yeah, it's just
Correct.
the way the human brain's wired. I think they just want to hear fucking death and destruction.
Right.
All right, worst parent.
Worst one.
Damn it.
That is so hard.
Just any bad parent.
Yeah.
How about that? Worst parent's tough because I can think of couple of pretty bad parents just right off the top of my head. Just like not even police work here.
Right.
I mean, we don't really have any of like the major stories, like especially, I'm not gonna get into it, but like the recent stories with parents. So like we don't have anything like that, but that's not to say that we don't have terrible parents where I work. I'm really trying to think. It's so hard just because of how many people I deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's like you're asking me, like, who's your worst customer that you talk to on the phone?
True.
Just be like,
I could think of mine pretty quickly.
Yeah, I could think of a few, honestly.
Do you ever feel like you have to step into a role of being a parent for like kids on cases that you have to pull up to sometimes?
Oh, yeah. Just because, I mean, we've all, especially with teenagers, we've all been that age. And so you don't really realize it until you're talking to another teenager and like, I've been through this. Your parents are actually right. They don't want to hear that. Like,
Of course not. That's the worst thing you could tell them. I've been here. Trust me, it's not that serious. They're just like, fuck you. It's just important.
Right. So, like, you kind of have to level with them, and because a lot of them just want to run away. I'm pretty sure I used to, like, be like, I want to run away. Like, so stupid. I don't know how to, like.
Freedom.
And then you just walk a couple blocks. This is kind of scary. I'm going to turn around.
Shit, dude, I don't got any money. Damn it.
But.
Do you get a lot of like runaway kids that you have to
Yes.
deal with?
All teenagers. Can't stand it.
See,
But
I mean, I never really ran away. I would just like leave the house and not come back for like 3 days. Just
So
like,
running away.
Yeah, literally. What's the difference?
I never really ran away. I ran
walked
away.
I mean, I was always like sleeping. I always
Didn't
had
feel like running.
I always had somebody's house. I was sleeping at someone's parents were feeding me. And I'd just be like, Mom, I'm just at my friend's house. She's like, okay, cool.
see, but at least like you would tell her these kids don't.
Yeah,
so their
that's-
parents end up like filing a missing persons report, and then you got the
damn.
whole state looking for you.
Do you
God
guys
damn.
remember the story of me in high school? I was missing for You don't remember this? So our good friend X, after a track practice, I used to drive everyone home. So I drove Sierra home. I drove our friend named Carl home, and then I went to X's house. And
Carl.
X is like, "Hey, dude, I'm
Carl.
cooking some ramen. You want some?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." So I went in and I had some ramen. Well, actually, let me rewind.
That's what made you stay there? Fucking ramen noodles, dude.
Yeah, I'm an easy sell.
Yeah, you like some pizza rolls or something.
So when we
I got some
dropped-
bagel bites. Fuck yeah, dude, I'm staying.
when
Bagel bites.
we dropped Carl off, there was like some sort of gunshot or something, and Sierra knew about that, and like kind of like that's where we left off on that. Like Sierra and I told Sierra I heard a gunshot. And then I went and I was going to drop X off, went into his house. We ate some ramen. He turned some TV on. It was like very white noise TV too. Like I feel like it was like fucking NASCAR or something. Always will put you to sleep. So I ate. I laid on the couch, and for some reason he just went in his bed and went to sleep. And I was still at his house, and I'm like, man, I'm getting a little tired too. So I went to sleep.
What the fuck?
I went to sleep, and my phone died, so no one could track me. I was sleeping at his house for a few hours, and my parents were freaking the fuck out My phone is going straight to voicemail. They call Sierra. They're like, look, we don't know where Zach is at. We can't find him. He's not answering the phone. He never came home. And Sierra's like, well, yeah, the last thing I heard is that he said there were gunshots.
Wow.
Sierra gave them a great peace of mind. They felt great after talking to Sierra. And then eventually they kind of connect the dots. And Sierra's like, well, how about let me call. Did you call him or did my parents call him? I think Sierra called X and she's like, did Zach drop you off? Like they're trying to figure out where Zach's at. My parents, they're very, they worry. So the cops are already looking for me.
Portland,
no. Oh.
No.
Don't do that, Cortland. Don't do that, Cortland.
I was stuck, guys. That's gonna look great on that camera.
You can just slide the pack and play over.
He's like, oh, I got all that attention.
How much more do you think? How much more should I slide it?
I think
That should be good,
That's
yeah.
probably good.
But yeah, so they wake up X and they're like, look, the cops are looking for Zach. No one can find him. He's like, hold on, let me look. And he goes out and I'm just sleeping in his living room with like ramen on my belly. And he's like, Zach, dude, wake up. Everyone's looking for you. I put my phone on the charger. I have a shit ton of missed calls. I had a voicemail from the police, from whatever cop was assigned to finding me. I called him back. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I fell asleep at a friend's. But my parents, like I remember going home and I thought they were going to be mad at me. But I think, as a parent, I'm sure you guys can relate that like it was just relief. Just so much relief knowing. They literally thought I was dead.
I would be happy when you came home, and then once you told me that you stopped for ramen, I'd be like, you fucking...
Well, that's actually basically what happened. Like, you just fell asleep at his house. That was very irresponsible.
Ramen noodles, just like the generic brand? He didn't make you like a fresh...
Dude, I'll tell you what. X makes some good ramen.
Well, it's like if you dress it up, like if you make like the shitty, just out of the packet, and then you make like a, a nice egg on top. You get some sriracha.
All you need is some
you
salt.
chop up. Salt. It doesn't have
Salt?
enough.
Just put more salt in there.
It doesn't have
There's
enough.
so much salt.
I know, you just put more.
Why?
It'll put you right to sleep. I don't know. It's so good. I love sodium.
That's all me and Lexi used to eat when we were younger.
Salt? Oh, ramen.
Just fucking living on salt.
We used to make ramen noodles and pizza rolls every day after we got home from school.
Man, that is just a freaking plan to have heart disease
Yeah.
for sure. Like what's worse for you, crack cocaine or that? Like, what would kill you first? You just eat nothing but ramen noodles and pizza rolls, or you just do crack every day for the rest of your life? I'm honestly betting that ramen noodles are going to kill you quicker.
You think?
Something
Ramen noodles
in my
was
heart.
My pregnancy.
Something in my heart.
I wanted ramen noodles so bad when I was pregnant.
Oh, so
and
good.
he would give me so much shit. He's like, it's so bad for you. I can make you ramen. I'm like, okay, then fucking
hard.
do it. And then he would be like, it's just so much work.
It is a lot of work, guys. You got to like
Give
simmer.
me fucking ramen.
You got to simmer like, freaking bones and shit for like 3 days. And it takes a lot. And I did make it eventually. Like, I think you weren't even probably, I think you had them
No,
already.
you finally made it, but you didn't have the right ingredients or something. So you made it with like spaghetti noodles or something like that.
Oh.
Might have used spaghetti noodles. And that's definitely a big no-no if you're making ramen noodles from scratch. You definitely want real fucking ramen noodles.
Oh, man, I'm craving some ramen.
I got a funny childhood police story. This one, I don't know if I've said this one before, but I might have. But I was a little bit, I think maybe not everybody, but I think a lot of kids get into stealing when they're kids. Because you figure out that like, oh shit, I don't have to pay for this. Like I can just pocket it and walk out. And so a lot of people just kind of, at least a lot of my friends got into stealing when we were in like middle school. Just fucking, stupid shit. Just like Snickers bars and sodas and
Just for the thrill.
just for the thrill. And obviously we ate the Snickers bars and drank the sodas. A lot of people got really kind of like into it and were stealing from like the mall at like expensive clothes.
That's
and
where you
shit.
see most kids get arrested.
Yeah. A lot of like stealing expensive shit from the mall, just putting stuff in their bag and walking out. And yeah, so I never really got into that. I was a little too scared to do that. But at school, somebody left a damn iPod Touch in the boys' locker room.
Oh, I remember this.
Somebody left their iPod Touch just sitting out in the boys' locker room, and my little crackhead brain just it could not say no. It could not say no. It was like the little devil and the little angel on your shoulder, like, that's, you might get in trouble, or come on, nobody's gonna find out. It's like I was like, there's nobody in here, just nobody in here. Like I forgot something in there, and I ran back in while everybody was already in the locker room, and I'm just like,
The
okay.
decision making of a teenage boy is hilarious.
Yeah. I'm just free iPod. I already had an iPod Touch too. I 100% fucking had one too, and I stole it. I took it. I stole it. And later that day, I fucking told my friends, like, look what I got. That was first mistake. I should have kept it on the down low. Nobody would have known. I showed my friends. I'm like, yeah, dude, look what I got, dude. I found this in the locker room. It was just sitting out. I got this. Fucking mine now. And I guess, like, somehow the cops got called. So, this is the dumbest shit ever. Like, worst cop call, police, like, imagine you're the cop and you just show up, some kid stole an iPod. Like, fucking figure it out, Mr. Teacher Guy.
Nope. Got to do a report.
What the fuck? It's so dumb. It's like a waste of resources. Like, somebody, anyways, cops get called and they like single me out. And so they're asking me, like, where's the iPod? Where's the iPod? What did you do with the iPod? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know because I didn't know that my friends had snitched on me at this point. I thought I was good to go. I'm like,
so they knew.
They had told the kid who
beard wasn't a giveaway.
They had told the kid who I stole the iPod from. I didn't know whose it was initially. It ended up being like one of our friends, and I didn't know that. And then once I figured out it was his, I was like, well, I already stole it. Like, should I come clean? Nah, I'll probably be all right. Well, they snitched on me. They said, yeah, dude, fucking Bear has it. Like, he stole it, and they like he like confronted me. I was like, I didn't steal it. What are you talking about, dude? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You have an iPod? That's cool, dude. What kind of iPod is it? And so then they call the cops, and the cop like is like interrogating me, like, what'd you do with it? Where's it at? I'm just like, I don't have it.
Why did he not just like tell the principal? Why does he have to call the police?
That's a pretty funny move, right? Like, I'm gonna call 911.
Straight to the top.
Pretty.
Can you imagine being in middle school and calling 911 for that?
Unless
Really?
the parent made him, because a lot of parents want to report things missing. So
Which is still like, as
Kind
an
of a pussy
adult,
move.
like, if my son tells me, yeah, they stole my phone, I'll be like, well, why'd you fucking lose it,
Yeah.
dummy? Like, oh, I
Go
know who's.
confront them. Don't call the police.
Yeah, I know who stole it. Well,
it's easy to say. They
Yeah.
call us for everything.
yeah. I mean, I'm me personally. I'm not calling the cops, like.
No, I'm not.
But the cop like puts me in the back of the car, and he's just like,
really?
yeah, he puts me in the back of the car. He had me in cuffs.
Oh,
He put me in
Dang, I bet
cuffs.
you felt gangster
and
as
put me in the
fuck.
back of the car. He's just like, this is where we're gonna take you. We're gonna take you downtown. Yeah, he hit me with all the generic shit too. Like, he was just
You
like
got the full experience.
yeah,
Beyond scared straight.
He's like, he's like, we know you have it. Like, if you don't give it back to us, we're gonna have to take you. I'm in the car, like, really contemplating this, and eventually he comes back and he's like talking to me in private, and he says, listen, your buddies ratted you out. Like, we know you have it. Like, if you just give it back to us, this will be over. I was just like, my mind was just like blown at that point. Like, I had complete and utter trust that they did not snitch on me, and they fucking cracked immediately.
Wow.
They cracked immediately. Like, they were just like, yeah, he has it. Like, as soon as the cop got there, he's like, yeah, he has it.
no street code at all.
None, dude. Like, I was literally, and
No
I was,
loyalty.
bro, I like did not respect them whatsoever for the rest of my life. To this day, I still have less respect for these two individuals. I'm over it.
Call him out.
I'm over it.
Call him out right now.
I'm over it, but at the same time, like, I'm just like, you
not over it.
motherfuckers, dude. I understand, like, I would have lied to that police officer for you guys.
Thank you.
I would have, not you.
Oh.
I'm talking like back then. Like, if it was the roles reversed, I would have said, I don't know nothing about no iPod. They broke immediately. Like, as soon as the cop asked them, like, hey, does he have it? They're like, yep.
kids are so easy sometimes.
I mean, I was hard. I was hardcore. I was
Not
ready.
anymore. Not these days.
Not these days. No, I'm chill. I'm all about peace and love and prosperity. I just want everybody to
Stealing
be.
iPods.
Yeah, dude. I learned my lesson.
So
Just don't
what
trust
did you
anybody.
say to him after he said
Yeah,
we know?
did you end up admitting?
I mean, yeah. Eventually, once he told me, like, hey, like, because he did it like in private, because he was like making a show of this at first, which was kind of funny, which I kind of felt cool about. he's like got me in the car, put me in cuffs in front of everybody, puts me in the back of the car. I'm like, dude, it's kind of sweet. It's kind of cool. Like, I probably look really cool right now. And he's got like the door open. He's asking me, like, interrogating me. Everybody's looking at me. Like, all my friends and shit are looking at me. I'm just like, this is pretty. Like, I'm probably getting some street cred for this. And then he kind of like, got in the car with me, and he's just like, like, listen, your buddy's ratted you out. We know you have the iPod. Like, just give it back, and we'll call it a day. Like, we're not gonna write anything up or take you anywhere. Just just be done. If you just give us the iPod back. And I had like hidden it in like a bush, like at school, like because once I realized shit was escalating, I like fucking hid it. And so like they like searched my bag and everything, and like looked me, patted me down. I'm like, I didn't have it. I'm like, I don't have an iPod. Just like it's like I don't have it. And like I fucking like buried that bitch in a bush like at school. And so like I literally had to like walk him over and like uncover it. But yeah, I was just like completely disgusted with my friends. I was like, you sons of bitches.
Should have turned it around on them and been like, they actually stole it. I know where they hid.
They stole
They're
it.
not going to pull video proof for that. They're not going to like, you don't think, they're not going to waste their time doing that. You honestly could have got away with it.
But I thought I was like in shock, so
Unless the parents would have pressed charges, then he would have taken a ride to the Jack.
that would have been funny as hell.
I feel like I couldn't take a kid getting arrested seriously.
Dude, it was just a funny. That's a funny
You could
experience.
literally just like picture your mom, Brandon. What are you doing?
It's just a funny experience. I mean, I don't even think my mom even knew about it.
And then she'd be like, "Oh, okay."
They never called your parents?
No, I don't think they even
That's
called my
bullshit,
parents.
dude. The middle school called my parents for fucking talking in art
I got
class.
ISS for being in
This
dress
was literally
code.
this was literally
like,
at
what?
school
This
too.
dude's stealing shit and he's just let off free?
This was literally at school, like in the back parking lot at Teague Middle School. Like they have me in a fucking police car. Like
That's so
I feel like
gangster.
maybe the middle school needs to like step in or something. It's like, hey, like chill out. Like this dude's a kid. Like maybe we shouldn't cuff him. I mean, maybe back of the car. Still kind of aggressive, Mr. Officer.
That is for a middle schooler.
Do you think, as a police officer, you have to be fit?
No.
But do I think you have to be? No.
Well,
Should you be?
Yes, because do you ever see those videos of cops like doing chases like on foot and like they are tripping
In
over
foot
like
pursuits?
yes, but they're like so
Rachel,
unathletic and they are tripping and
Do you think if you were like in a pursuit and I was like running, do you think you could chase me down?
Yeah, that's what I have a taser for.
Okay,
That's
well,
a good answer.
And a dog.
Okay.
And a helicopter.
okay,
Oh, you're
well, okay. See, now you're cheating. You're cheating. You got a leg up on me.
Bear is very confident in his running skills.
I am very confident. Do you think you're faster than me? That's a better question.
No, I can be 25 feet away from you and still tase you.
I bet you I could take the taser.
You guys want to go
try?
test it out?
You ever see the people who get tased and they just keep going? That's
The
me.
adrenaline?
That's me.
I've been tased.
Yes.
Do you have to get tased as part of like the police academy thing?
No, so
I'd probably just be like, no.
in the academy, you do have to get pepper sprayed.
Yeah.
I would get tased 1,000,000 times before I get pepper sprayed
Really?
again. Because it lasts for so many days. So even if you take a shower, it reactivates.
Oh my God.
That's horrible.
But you have the choice. Well, some departments are different. So with ours, you have the choice if you want to get tased or not. And I was like, there was 9 of us hired together, and I was the only female. And they're like, oh, I'm not going to get tased unless you do. So I'm like, all right, because I'm not a little bitch. Like, let's go.
Oh. They're probably like, oh, God damn it.
Well, two of them pulled their shoulders, and they were out for months from after being tased.
Really?
Yeah. So now we don't recommend being tased
Wait, so where did they tase you?
on the back.
Yeah.
So you just, how far away were they?
Well, so we didn't do the probes because those hurt like getting ripped out because
Yeah, I
it
can
has
imagine.
little hooks on it.
Oof.
So we
So
have
they did
the
like the-
clips.
Mm.
No,
Oh.
not just a little. No, I got the full 5-second ride. I had one up here and then a one on the lower back. So that way it's a good spread.
Oh.
You can't move.
What does it feel like?
Like you're being electrocuted.
That's about what I pictured it as. Damn.
So
I
what's,
couldn't do anything.
so
I
what's
couldn't
going
do
on
any of that
when, because you see it all the time, motherfuckers getting tased and they keep coming,
Because
like,
they're on PCP or something like that. They're on like,
shit. So they're fucking in superhero mode.
oh yeah.
yeah,
That's the scariest
they're
motherfucker
just really
alive.
strong.
That or if like, it depends on how the probes hit you. Or like if
Yeah,
you're
you
wearing
might-
a thick jacket, it's not going to affect
Yeah, I
you.
mean, because they both have to go in, right? Because that's what, does like the charge, right? You got to have both of them in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we just got new ones. So we can have 4 probes in you.
Damn. That's
Is it hard
Could.
to shoot a taser?
I didn't know there was 4. Hold on.
Is it like easy to aim? Like if I wanted to shoot bear right now, like,
got like
is
a
it like
little laser.
100% accuracy rate?
No, it's easy. I'm a taser instructor. I'll teach you.
Sick.
Like, can I shoot a taser?
No.
So what's the point of fucking learning?
I knew the answer.
I
as
need
soon as you
hands-on
asked.
experience.
Yeah, this is a hard no.
Damn.
They don't just let you have those
Nope.
things.
Have you done an on-foot pursuit chase?
Just the way you said it is so funny.
I know. I didn't know
Pursuit
how do
chase.
you word that?
Foot
On
pursuit,
you-
Yes.
not crazy, no. But I've definitely chased after people.
Like, and have you had to tackle them?
After running, no.
Oh.
Usually they just gas
They,
out.
yeah, they just like stop.
It's like,
It's like, oh,
fuck.
fine,
Really?
you got me.
A lot of people.
I didn't think you guys were gonna run.
They don't want to be tased.
Yeah.
Oh, so they like are like, okay.
Right.
Wait, do you work with dogs at all? Like I know you don't have a canine yourself, but like, do you go to calls with canines?
A lot of the time for missing juveniles, like autistic
Like
juveniles.
sniff dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracking dogs.
So what do they do? Do they go to like the house where the child was and sniff something and then?
Yeah,
that's
we
how
have to
they-
have an article, like whether it's clothing, a blanket, something that the child's like close with, like, and give the.
He's so
Chilling.
bored right now.
He's just chilling. Poor guy.
Well-
Isn't that amazing how they're just able to do that? Like they just smell it and then they go find them.
Yeah, if they find them.
They're not
Doesn't
amazing if they don't find them. They suck if they don't find them.
Is it like, would you say it's like 50-50, 60-40? Like how much of the time are they actually
It
finding them?
depends. We actually just did one. But the girl came back herself. So
he didn't
the
do
dog
shit.
didn't do anything.
He's like, yes, she's coming back, guys.
I am not leaving this yard. That's exactly what it did. I'm not leaving.
Was it like, was it an autistic
Yeah.
girl? Oh, and she just came back on her own? Is she young or older?
I don't want to get into that because I
True.
have my own opinions on where she was. I think she was there the whole time.
Oh.
Because we had to search the house. Like,
Oh, wait, but you didn't find her?
no.
But she was there.
She's a really
She
good
just
hider.
said, she just said she didn't want to get into it.
Hide and seek.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I give too much detail, if anyone heard about it, then
Yeah, true.
I love search dogs. I think it's so fascinating. Do your dogs sit or bark when they find something?
Well, we don't have dogs.
Oh, say it's from other units? But do those ones sit or bark? Have you
don't-
seen them actually find?
Like for narcotics?
Like for anything they can do for a missing person. Sometimes they literally, I would imagine for people, live people, they'd probably bark. But I know sometimes for like drugs or gunpowder or bombs and stuff, sometimes they'll just sit. Like everyone thinks they're going to like do this violent bark, but like they'll just sit next to you.
So that would, because looking from the outside in on a canine unit,
Yeah.
I feel like they hate when we're like, oh, well, he found something. They're like, no, because so it's not just sitting.
Yeah.
The dog does something that only the canine unit would be able to pick up on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it just, I don't go off because of how many times they've told us that. Like,
Yeah.
even if the dog sits, I can't just be like, oh, yeah, this
There it
person
is.
has drugs.
Yeah.
I know it. No.
Huh.
What's like the training to become like essentially like a canine, cop?
Ask my neighbor. He has the 2, dude. It's pretty, like they have to get tested pretty.
Not the dogs, the cop.
Oh,
He
the
said
cop, the person?
Yeah, like what does a cop do to be able to like interpret?
A lot of training.
Yeah, that's what.
It's a lot.
I
Yeah,
can imagine, yeah.
my dogs are dumb as hell. I can never figure out what they're trying to. You know what I mean?
I mean, sometimes they'll say it's harder, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's sometimes harder for the officer to get trained in that versus the dog. A lot of the dog stuff is nature. Like
They get sent
German
away.
Shepherds are so fucking smart.
The dogs get sent away
Yeah,
for certain
right.
training.
But the humans, like, it's a lot to learn, a lot for them to pick up. Like I remember I was doing the human remains stuff with Clover, our dog. Did you know that? We were practicing with the human remains searches, and it's so much. It's hard. It's really hard. Oh, there's the baby.
That is the baby.
Sierra,
The hair.
did you have any questions or anyone want to ask Rachel something or very special
mean,
guest?
I mean, we're gonna be wrapping up here soon. I guess I could just like, leave off with a statement. Just a general statement, no questions. Fuck the police, man.
That'd be hilarious.
Your house gonna smell like bacon for weeks.
Jesus Christ.
I love bacon.
That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I've been called every name there is.
Every
like,
slur.
Yeah.
Every cop slur. Is that
Like,
what you?
it's funny.
You ever hear that? How much do you hear that one? I smell
Copper.
bacon. You hear that one often?
Yeah. Or the kids will be like, fuck 12. And I'm like, oh, you're so cool. Like, cool.
Do you ever just scare kids just to like mess with them?
Like
Like-
my
like-
siren at him.
That or
Fucking
just
pull
like
out the gun. Fuck 12.
Okay. No.
Get down.
There goes my job.
Yes.
no, like like
No.
they're not
Cut that
doing
out.
anything that you could really like arrest them for, but kind of be like, what are you guys doing? Like
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
just like
Question them.
yeah, just question them and get them like nervous and panicked.
That scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah. Or if they're riding their bike. I don't know. Maybe it's mean. Like our air horn. If they don't know I'm behind them, I'll go, meh.
Really? Oh my, dude, I would
so
have so
loud.
much fun with that.
I,
Everything else I could not do. I respect you so much because
you.
seriously, most people cannot do that. So
you have to be very passionate about it.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can't just half-ass your job.
Right.
A half-ass
Hope
cop.
I mean,
would
I'm
probably,
surprised I'm here. But I love what I do.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Yep. That boy is toast over there. Oh my God. He seems to be having fun though.
Yeah, he's definitely having fun.
He's having his own little thing over there. But I think it's about time we wrap it up.
Yeah.
Just I don't think you would be able to chase me down if there, if the field was leveled, you didn't have a helicopter or a dog or a taser, or like a machete that you could throw at me or something.
Machete.
I don't know. You guys have all kinds of tools.
We do not carry machetes. I will say that.
Well,
Your
what if you?
tools to fight Bill Gates and him.
Yeah.
I think
Next week we'll test it out.
I think
on our
I
next
could-
episode.
I think I would at least be able to, outrun you. And, I've seen a couple other cops who maybe need to think about their physical fitness. I think I could outrun them. But if you guys ever need any help with your physical, like
He's
your
very
your foot
confident in his
pursuit-
running.
your foot pursuit, I think I could.
Bear, also, you know that it's more of a sprint. Like Bear's in very good long distance 5K, 10K shape. You can't just start out your cop pursuit at a nice pace. They're not just going to pace with you.
No, dude, that's exactly what you do. You start.
No.
You,
Slow down. We're in it for the long race.
I'm running a freaking 6-minute pace. What are you doing? I'm running the 6-minute mile pace. Are you gonna start with a sprint?
Yeah.
No.
We
Oh
have-
my goodness, you guys are not thinking about this right.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it like I need to get my hands on this person, like whether they're going to turn around and shoot me.
No.
Bear's like, pace yourself.
You have to set like an aggressive pace, but one that you can maintain for longer than.
No matter what, the taser is coming out.
I guess I would not be a good cop then, because I would be like,
He's the cop and he's telling them
I'd be like, hey, you
slow
want?
down.
I was like, you want to run? You want to run?
I picture all the cops running out of the car sprinting, and Bear's just like,
Yeah.
He started
You
he's
see me-
stretching first.
if he slows down in 10 minutes, I will catch up.
Rachel's like on one knee taking a breath. I'm like, hey, you went that way? You went that way? Yeah. I'll see you later. I'll get this guy. I promise.
That's golden. I love
Eventually.
that. All right,
I'll find him.
let's wrap this guy up.
Fast as hell. You got to turn the thing up. I'm fast as hell.
Is the song playing?
The song's not playing. You got to turn it up. I'm fast as hell. I'm faster than shit.
Bad boys. Bad
I'm
boys.
super fast. I'm so fast.
Playing now?
It's playing now. I'm so fast.
Oh shit.